Democrats push to hide insects in American food supply. You can't make this stuff up. Why does Democrats hate information so bad? They hate people being informed, and they want to censor everything. Now they don't even want to tell you what's in your food. And then you know why they don't want to tell you this. They don't want to tell you this because they know that if people find out your food supply has insects in it, you're not going to eat it. And it's evil, it's despicable that they don't want to tell you these things. I mean, this is the loony left for you. They know what's better for you. Then they don't want to tell you. They don't want to give you the information. They don't want you to make your own decisions. So they'll hide things like this from you. It's disgusting. So we're gonna talk a little bit about this. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Slate News. Y'all know the great Frank Bergman. And he reports that Democrats are fighting to keep insects hidden in food products to be consumed by the American general public. In Minnesota, of course, a leftist state, state Senate Democrats blocked an amendment that would have required food containing insects to be labeled. I mean, that's a simple ask, right? All you have to do is put a label saying, "Hey, this contains crickets," or "This contains whatever insects it is." It's not a difficult task. And Republicans are arguing that insects should be listed in the ingredients of food products to inform consumers. This is what we want. We want to know these things. They tell us everything else about the foods. Why won't they tell us this? However, for reasons that are not immediately clear, Democrats are pushing to keep bugs a hidden ingredient. It's not unclear. They know why. They need to be. This is part of their globalist agenda. And they can't push the globalist agenda if people refuse to eat the bugs. So they can't tell us that the bugs are in the food because they know we won't eat it. That's why they're not telling us. Last week, Minnesota Senate passed SF 4225, an omnibus agriculture policy bill. The legislation was mostly related to taxes for farmers in the state. However, before the bill was passed, Senator Tori Westrom, Republican from Alexandria, introduced a common sense amendment for food labeling. The amendment would require food to be properly labeled if it contains either insect products or artificial cell cultured food like lab grown meat. In a statement about the move, Wallstrom said, quote, "This just sets forth that if there are bugs in your food for protein, cricket flour, whatever it is, it needs to be labeled. The consumers need to know. If your meat is cell cultured and grown in a petri dish, you also need to know. Consumers should have the knowledge as they shop in stores." I mean, who disagrees? Who would disagree with that? I mean, other than leftist Democrats, of course. Republican colleague Senator Jim Abeler echoed Westrom's remarks. Abeler argues that the amendment is a no-brainer. Quote, "Let's tell people what's in their food that some people don't even consider to be food," he said. "Just because there's no money in the bill doesn't mean we can't establish a policy." However, the bill's Democrat author, Senator Eric Putnam, shot down the proposal. Putnam insists that although, quote, "consumers should know what they are consuming, the issue of labeling insect parts in products was a future problem." What? So you're gonna wait until it's a problem? He falsely claimed that insect-based foods and lab-grown meats are not available yet and therefore do not need to be addressed. Are you kidding me? So we all know they are already producing lab-grown meats, and it's already a thing. They already have these things. This is what happened when you're ill-informed, when you don't know what you're talking about. He said, quote, "Everybody wants to have consumer awareness of the food that they eat, but some of us want to do it in a thoughtful way," he said. What does that mean? One thing that come from that discussion is that currently is only one space in the entire country that is selling cell-cultivated meat. And that was a restaurant in San Francisco that has already stopped doing it, Putnam added. Democrats united on the issue to ensure Westrom's amendment was ultimately defeated in a 33-34 vote. I mean, it's just disgusting. The move comes amid mounting pressure to flood the American food supply with insect and lab grown products. As Slate News reported, a group of experts recently published a report that raises alarm about Democrat President Joe Biden's coming policies for complying with the World Economic Forum net zero agenda. According to the report from the Buckeye Institute, the Biden administration is pushing policies that seek to eliminate the farming industry and drastically alter the American food supply. In order to meet the WEF's net zero targets, the Biden admin seeks to eliminate meat and dairy products from the food supply. A lot of people don't even know this is happening. They don't, I mean, people need to wake up. They need to be informed about this stuff that's going on. Soon they're going to wake up and there aren't going to be any cheeseburgers. Well, there will be burgers, but it will be insect burgers or lab grown burgers. Some people have no idea this is going on. The policies aim to replace traditionally farmed products with plant-derived alternatives, lab-grown meats, and insect-based foods. Under the plans, the organic agriculture industry would mostly be eliminated with the gaps in the food supply filled with manufactured products. This is why they're trying to eliminate farmers altogether. Of course, meat and dairy products won't be completely banned. However, the cost of producing these foods will be so high that they will become a luxury that only the wealthy will enjoy, much like private jet use. That's this why people like Bill Gates don't care about it because he'll still be able to eat his burgers because he can afford it. The report released on February 7th found that the climate policies and the mandates are guided by the environmental, social, and governance ESG agenda. These policies being pushed by the Biden administration carry a hefty price tag for American farmers and consumers. Quote, to better appreciate the true cost that American farms and households will likely pay for the Biden administration's net zero policies and objectives, the Buckeye Institute Economic Research Center developed a model corn farm that must play by the government's new carbon emissions rules, wrote the authors. The farm's operational costs, as expected, all rose significantly, they added. Crunching the numbers, the researchers found that U.S. farmers will see their operational costs rise by an estimated 34%, wow, as a result of the Biden administration's net zero emission policies. Imagine, you know how high food is now. Imagine once Joe Biden really start implementing this net zero stuff, how expensive things will be. He's going to price us out of existence. He is single-handedly destroying this country. We need to stop this. We need to get the word out about this stuff. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.